There's a reason things feel heavier right now. No one's talking about it, but they should be. And they don't want you to know this before it hits full force. But you're here, so you will. You've felt it, the strange weight pressing down when the room goes silent, the inexplicable restlessness that creeps in just as you try to settle. Maybe it's shown up in your dreams, maybe in the quiet spaces between your thoughts. Either way, you know something's coming, even if you can't put it into words yet. That's not just your imagination playing tricks. It's the sky shifting in ways that most people are too distracted to notice. This isn't just another astrological forecast. This is a warning, a message meant for those who can feel the tremors beneath the surface before the world shakes. Because the last week of April isn't easing you in, it's a storm waiting to break. And not everyone will see it coming. The energies aligning right now aren't soft. They don't care if you're ready or if you've been paying attention. They're here to expose, to unearth, to shake the foundations you've quietly relied on. And if you don't know what's coming, you won't know how to hold your ground when it hits. There's a blackout approaching, one that doesn't just cut the lights in the sky, but the clarity in your mind. A mirage forming, showing you what you want most, just so it can test if you'll fall for it. Relationships, choices, desires, they're all on the chopping block. You're standing on the edge of something you weren't meant to see, but now that you are, you can't unsee it. Stay with me, because what's coming next could shift how you move through the days ahead. Like this video, subscribe if you haven't already, and get ready, because the hardest truths are just about to surface. And here's where it starts. Right now, it feels calm, maybe even too calm. But that's always how it begins. The stillness before the shift, the silence before something breaks wide open. You've been standing at the edge, sensing that something is coming, but the signs have been subtle, easy to overlook if you're not tuned in. That's not by accident. The universe knows how to move quietly when it's setting the stage for something big. And make no mistake, the stage is being set. It's quiet now, but not for long. The sky's laying its trap, weaving invisible threads between thoughts, between choices, between the moments you don't realize are significant until it's too late to undo them. The build-up is here, not loud or obvious, but slow and creeping. And the first player in this cosmic game is already moving into position. April 26th brings the Moon and Mercury into a rare, intimate conjunction, one that doesn't announce itself with fireworks, but with whispers, the kind you can almost ignore, almost. But this is the moment where ignoring becomes dangerous. Mercury, the messenger, and the Moon, the keeper of emotions and instincts, are slipping into alignment. They're not shouting at you, they're slipping notes under your door, planting ideas when your mind is quiet, seeding messages in the gaps between your scrolling, in the words of a stranger, in the memory of a song you haven't heard in years. This is the kind of energy that hides meaning in plain sight. You won't know why you suddenly feel pulled towards something, why that random conversation sticks with you, why the same symbol keeps appearing over and over again. But your body knows. Your subconscious recognizes the pattern long before your conscious mind catches up. This is where the trap begins. The universe doesn't always test you with big, dramatic gestures. Sometimes it's the quiet pull toward distraction, the soft nudge toward a path that feels familiar but isn't meant for you anymore. And right now, that pull is strong. It shows up as synchronicities that feel too small to matter, but too strange to ignore. The same phrase showing up in different places, a name popping into your head, then appearing somewhere unexpected. These are not coincidences. These are the first cracks in the illusion. The veil is thinning, and reality is already starting to ripple beneath the surface. Don't brush these moments off. Don't explain them away. This is the universe reaching out, making contact, asking if you're paying attention. Because if you're not, you'll miss the signs, and missing them means walking straight into the storm, unprepared. Everything that feels off right now, everything that feels like a glitch in your routine, that's the signal. This is the beginning of the unraveling, the first wave. And if you can catch it here, in the whispers, in the symbols, you'll be ready when the volume turns up, because it will. The volume's going to turn up whether you're ready or not. What's been whispering will start to roar. The sky doesn't stay silent for long, and as April 27th approaches, the quiet build-up breaks wide open. This is where the blackout begins, not just out there in the night sky, but inside of you. This isn't just darkness. This is a blackout from the inside out. A super new moon is never gentle. It's not here to soothe. It's here to strip away the light, to pull the covers off the things you've been too afraid to face. And this one? This one isn't playing fair. The moon doesn't just darken on April 27th. It comes dangerously close to Earth, closer than it should, like it's leaning in too close, whispering things you weren't meant to hear just yet. At perigee, the moon's gravitational pull is at its peak, but it's not just the tides that feel it. Your body feels it. Your spirit feels it. And whether you know it or not, this is when things start to shift beneath the surface. Expect the turbulence. Expect the emotional static. You might find yourself waking up from dreams so vivid, so painfully real, that you swear they actually happened. And maybe they did. Not in this version of your life, but somewhere else. That's the bleed-through. When the veil between timelines thins so much, you can almost reach through and touch another version of yourself. If you wake up feeling like you visited a different life, you did. The moon pulls on more than tides. It pulls on truths buried beneath lifetimes. This isn't the kind of shift that announces itself. It creeps in, wrapping itself around your thoughts, warping the edges of reality. You might notice your focus slipping, your mind drifting without warning. One moment you're here, scrolling, working, speaking. The next, you're somewhere else entirely, like your body is anchored in the present, but your mind, it's floating in places you can't quite name. That's the body-mind disconnect. That's the moon's influence pulling you away from what's familiar. Don't fight it. Fighting it only makes the dissonance louder. Instead, notice it. Sit with it. This is the moon stretching the boundary lines between what's real and what's imagined, between who you are and who you've been. You're halfway between here and somewhere else, and it's not an accident. The moon knows exactly how to reach inside and stir the parts of you that are too quiet most of the time. The parts you've learned to tune out. But now, with the blackout drawing near, those parts won't stay silent. They're rising up, demanding to be seen, demanding to be heard. And as the moon darkens, as the light disappears, it won't just be the sky that turns black. It'll be the spaces inside you that you've left unlit. And when the moon switches off the lights, what's left behind starts to shimmer in strange ways. This is where it gets tricky, where your senses can't fully trust what they're picking up. Because when the blackout hits, something else steps forward from the dark, something crafted to look just like the thing you've been waiting for. As we move into April 28th and 29th, the blackout doesn't fade. Instead, it morphs, stretches, and begins to refract the light that's just starting to creep back in. But what comes next isn't clarity, it's distortion. This is where the mirage forms. Venus, Saturn, and Neptune drift into a rare alignment, creating something beautiful, something irresistible, but something entirely deceptive. This is where the illusion crystallizes. When the things you want most shimmer just out of reach, looking perfect, feeling inevitable. But it's a test, and this test isn't obvious. It doesn't come with flashing lights or warning signs. It comes with the smoothness of everything finally seeming to line up. The person who says exactly what you've been aching to hear. The opportunity that looks like it's tailor-made for the life you've been imagining. The door that opens just wide enough to tempt you to step through. But here's what you need to know. Just because something feels right doesn't mean it is. This alignment isn't here to hand you your dreams. It's here to show you what you're still willing to believe, even when it isn't true. The Mirage Test is about seeing whether you'll chase the projection of your deepest longing instead of facing the reality beneath it. Be careful with what feels right. That person, that offer, that perfectly timed message, it might be the echo of your desires bouncing back at you, not the real thing. This alignment with Venus, Saturn, and Neptune creates a triangle of confusion, where your fantasies, your logic, and your boundaries blur into one shapeless mass. And in that fog, it becomes almost impossible to tell what's real. But you have to, because if you fall for the surface, if you grab at the shimmering image without pausing to check the substance beneath it, you'll find yourself holding nothing at all. That's the trick of the mirage. It shows you exactly what you've been craving, but only to see if you'll believe the story without questioning the truth. Pause. That's your lifeline in this. When the sky throws the perfect scenario at you, the perfect face, the perfect words, stop. Don't run toward it. Don't reach for it. Sit with it. The sky isn't here to give you what you want. It's here to show you why you want it. That's the part most people miss. They think the universe delivers dreams on a silver platter. But right now, the universe is more interested in showing you the roots of those dreams, the raw, unfiltered desires beneath the polished surface. Ask yourself, where is this longing coming from? Is it driven by fear, by loneliness, by the need to prove something? This alignment magnifies everything unresolved within you, dresses it up in gold, and waits to see if you'll buy it. But if you can sit with the desire without needing it to be real, if you can resist the pull to act on it right away, that's when you see through the fog. That's when you get to the truth. Because the mirage isn't here to hurt you, it's here to teach you. It shows you the soft spots, the places where you're still hungry for something external to complete you. It holds up the mirror and asks, are you ready to see yourself clearly? This is your chance to choose substance over shimmer, to choose truth over the easy, beautiful lie. And if you've come this far, if you've stood still in the heat of that mirage and resisted the urge to chase it, then you've already done something most people won't. But this isn't the end of it. The universe isn't finished yet. It never was about just showing you the illusion. It's about what happens next, when the illusion fades and you're left staring at what's really there. This is where the confrontation begins. April 29th isn't subtle. It doesn't ask permission. It brings the cold, hard edge of reality crashing into everything that's still standing. Venus, the planet of love, connection, beauty, meets Saturn, the gatekeeper of time, of boundaries, of truth. And when they come together, there's no room left for fantasy. This is the breaking point. The real meets the fake. Relationships, desires, even the story you've been telling yourself about who you are, they're all under review now. This is what I call the soul audit, and no one escapes it. Saturn doesn't care how much you've invested in something. It doesn't care how badly you wanted it to work. When Saturn steps in, it asks one question and one question only. Does this serve your soul's path, or is it a distraction? And it will keep asking in every conversation, every decision, every connection. You'll feel it in the moments of silence that stretch too long, in the unexpected distance between you and someone you thought you understood. Expect the coldness. Expect the space. People pull back, you pull back, and it stings because it feels personal. But it's not. This isn't rejection, it's alignment. It's the universe pulling away what doesn't fit anymore, whether you're ready to let go or not. And that's why this moment hurts. Because even if you've been holding on loosely, even if you've known deep down that something wasn't right, the confrontation makes it impossible to pretend. This is the day where the emotional temperature drops. Conversations go quiet, people withdraw, the warmth you've relied on flickers, and it feels like abandonment, like betrayal. But it's not. It's a clearing. Because when Venus meets Saturn, it doesn't matter how sweet your intentions are. Saturn doesn't do sweet. Saturn does truth, and truth doesn't always feel kind. It feels sharp. It feels like distance, like uncertainty. You might question yourself, your relationships, your choices. You might feel suddenly unsure of the things that felt solid just days ago. That's the point. This alignment isn't here to comfort you. It's here to strip away what isn't built to last. This is when emotional triggers flare up, the desire to explain yourself, to hold tighter, to fix what feels like it's falling apart. But resist that urge, because this isn't about fixing. It's about seeing clearly, seeing who stays when things get cold, seeing what connections stand up to the weight of truth. Shallow bonds can't survive this. They crack under the pressure, they slip away, and that's exactly what's supposed to happen. Don't mistake this for failure. This isn't about losing something valuable, it's about shedding what's been holding you back. Saturn doesn't take what you need. It takes what you cling to out of habit, out of fear. And yes, it feels personal. But this is the universe asking, does this serve your soul, or is it a distraction? That question will echo through every part of your life right now. In your relationships, in your work, in your dreams. And it won't stop until you answer honestly. So expect the pullback, expect the silence, expect people to disappear for a while, even if they don't know why they're pulling away. It's not about them. It's not even about you. It's about the space that's needed to see what's real. And in that space, you'll find clarity. You'll find out who's meant to stay and what's meant to fall away. Not because anyone failed, but because not every connection is meant to last forever. Some people, some paths, are only meant for a chapter, and this is the point where those chapters close. But there's power in that closing. There's freedom in it, because what remains after this confrontation will be real. It will be strong. The bonds that survive this aren't here by accident. They're here for the long haul, for the next phase of your journey, and you need that space, that clarity to recognize them. Because once the dust settles, once the illusions fade, and the bonds that couldn't hold fall away, you're left standing in the raw, empty space of what remains. And that space isn't meant to stay empty. It's meant to be filled with something stronger, something real. But before that can happen,